Did you know that the Elemental Dragon Guardians are gender fluid? Well, I bet you didn't. Now you do. Okay.
Good vibrations only. Tell your homies to tell your homies I got the love if they feeling lonely. I'm feeling good, got my crystals on me. Of course, y'all don't even know about the courts. Y'all don't even know about the force. I'm about to knock down the door, then come manifest me some more. Y'all feel like it.
Hey Hatchlings, it's Dragon Feather, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more as I post new videos every week. And for today's episode, we will be having an epic video. We have the Ultimate Beginner's Guide and Masterpost for working with the Elemental Dragon Guardians, Grail, Naeli, Fafnir, and Saris. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar with these Dragon Guardians, these are the Elemental Guardians that are the personifications of the elements earth, water, fire, and air themselves. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can get to know them, a little bit about each of them, how to work with them, a ritual to work with them, and if you want some more information that I was not able to cover in this video, please go check out my post that I made within the Hatchling clan and other aminos that I am in that will include a very extensive list for correspondences, offerings, how to honor each guardian, how to summon each guardian, how to pray to each guardian with an example prayer for each of them, ritual layout, all that awesomeness, as well as more resources that you can reference will all be included in that post linked down below. It'll be the first link for you, so don't forget to go check it out. Don't forget to stick around to the end because we have an awesome Q&A for you by the questions all the hatchlings have left on Instagram at Azura Dragon Feather. If you're not following me already, don't forget to go follow me so you can be a part of these Q&As in the next video. So the Elemental Dragon Guardians are Grail for Earth, Naeli for Water, Fafnir for Fire, and Saris for Air. And these guardians are known as the personification of the elements themselves. They are the primordial energy of these elements themselves and are present within each of these elements wherever you go in the world. Even when you're drinking water, you are in essence with Naeli. If you are walking outside, you are in essence with Grail. If you feel the breeze on your face, if you take a deep breath in, that is the essence of Saris. And if you feel the warm sun on your skin or lighting a candle, that is the essence of Fafnir. So we want to learn a little bit more about these guardians, how we can work with them, and how to get to know them a little better. The Elemental Dragon Guardians are very high ranking in the Draconic realm. This means that we will address them as Ta-Sur-Zurus. But Ta-Sur-Zurus is a term that we use to address very ancient, very celestial, and almost godlike deity dragons that we work with. With the Elemental Dragon Guardians being the personification of the elements themselves, it's really important to remember that they are very high ranking, that we really need to respect them, and that's why we will address them as Ta-Sur-Zurus. And you can also address them as their names, Grail, Naeli, Fafnir, and Saris. But if you want to be more respectful, I recommend saying Ta-Sur-Zurus. Encountering the Elemental Dragon Guardians is very slim to none. You most likely will never meet them face to face. If you work with them, if you pray to them, if you offer them things, if you work with them on a regular basis, they will always be with you, but they just might not make themselves known to you. And what I mean by that is that they won't give you a huge overwhelming sensation that they are present in the room or space or outside with you. Rather, they'll just kind of silently watch you, what you need, stuff like that, and work with you in silence, if you will, as dragons tend to be more silent listeners and observers rather than very noisy. You know, hey, look at me, I'm a dragon. Not all of them are really like that, so it's just important to know that it may take a while for you to actually contact these Dragon Guardians. Let's get on a little bit more into each Dragon Guardian, specifically how you can honor them, the differences, and some more information about each one of them. So Grail is the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Earth, and Grail is pronounced Grail, even though it's spelled G-R-A-E-L, it's pronounced G-R-A-I-L. Grail is the steadfast and strong, sturdy and stubborn Dragon Guardian, maybe slow to work with, maybe very, very sedentary and things like that. Great guardian to work with if you need strength, if you need structure, and if you need guidance. I really recommend working with the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Earth when you are practicing green witchcraft, when you are growing herbs, when you are working with fairies, because yes, dragon guardians are the guardians of the realm of the Fae. Call upon this guardian when working with the element of earth and when working with other spirits spirits, creatures, or deities of the earth. So that's something very important to consider. Also, we have a prayer for Grail, so if you want to summon Grail, this is an example that you may choose to use. Grail, guardian of earth, please ground out my mind. Keep me focused, just, and strong throughout the land, guide kind. Pronounce this out loud. You can say it in your head, you can repeat it over and over again, or just once, or as many times as you want in order to summon the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Earth. Some correspondences for Grail are as follows, but the rest of them that I do not mention in this video will be available in the post linked down below. Some colors that are associated are brown, forest green, gold, mint, green, yellow, some other ones too. For crystals, we have ametrine, copper, amazonite, emerald, gold, green aventurine, iron pyrite, malachite, things like that. For herbs, we have cannabis, cypress fern, patchouli, mugwort, vervain, and the season is spring, and the direction is south or north depending on how you choose to practice. Some things that you can offer Grail are crystals, dance, homegrown herbs and fruit, living plants, money coins, and planting trees for Grail. When working with Grail, I recommend going outside into a deep foresty nature area. One thing that's common with the Elemental Dragon Guardians is you probably aren't going to hear much from them unless you go outside, out into nature. Those are the only times that I have truly felt the presence of all the Elemental Dragon Guardians, because I have met all of them, finally. So, years later, I recommend going outside because that's going to be the best place for you to contact them, because keep in mind, these are primordial energies. They don't really want to come inside your tiny little room, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you are outside in a foresty area. You can also be in a cavern. You can also be in a tropical forest or some place that's like a lush grassland for meeting the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Earth. If you want to learn more on how to honor Grail and how to summon Grail, and some myths, legends, and lore, as well as some other resources on Grail, please check out the post in the Hatchling clan linked down below. Next, we have Naeli, which is the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Water. It is spelled Naelyan, although it's pronounced Nailyon, so like nail yon, but it's spelled like yan, nail yan, but you don't say it that way, you say it nailyon. If you want to contact Naelian, we have a prayer to Naelian, and this prayer is: Naelian, guardian of water, please heal my inner sea. Help me flow, reflect, and feel throughout this life calm will be. Something again that you can repeat over and over and over again. To summon Naelian, you can say it once, you can say it 3 times, out loud, in your head, whatever works best for you. The correspondences we have, for colors we have aqua, azure, blue, blue-green, cyan, navy silver, and teal. Wow, that sounded a little strange. For crystals we have aqua auriquartz, aquamarine, azurite, blue lace agate, lapis lazuli, sapphire, sodalite, and silver. For herbs we have apple blossom, cannabis, chamomile, cherry, jasmine, lily, and lotus, and the season is autumn and the direction is west. Some things that you can offer Naelian are cannabis, clean water sources, water from a clean water source, jewelry, moon water, pearls, shells, wine, any sort of water like that you decide to make an elixir will also do as well. When you want to work with Naelian, if you want to connect with Naelian, my biggest recommendation and probably the best way you're going to meet Naelian is if you go to the ocean front or an ocean front and meditate at about dusk or at nighttime during a full or dark moon. That has been my best experience. The most prominent time I have met Naelian was when I was at the beach under a dark moon and it was just pitch black except for the city lights reflecting off of the waves, so it was very, very enchanting to say the least. And since the ocean is like the most powerful source of water, it's probably pretty easy to meet Naelian out there in the water, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we're gonna go to the waterfront, and you can also meet them at, say, a lake, a river, a waterfall. The larger bodies of water are going to be easier, but if you are at just a natural source of water, that is a great way to contact Naelian, especially by running your hands through the water that is naturally moving with the earth. If you want to learn how to honor or summon Naelian, some myths, legend, and lore about this dragon guardian, as well as some extra resources, you can check out the post linked down below to the Hatchling clan for more info. Next we have Fafnir, the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Fire, and this is spelled F-A-F-N-I-R, but is pronounced F-A-F-N-E-E-R, like near, not like Fafnir, because that's kind of how it's spelled, so we're gonna call him Fafnir instead of the way it's like spelled. Now we have a prayer, and this prayer is: Fafnir, guardian of fire, please help incinerate my fear. Push to be confident, passionate, and powerful throughout our realm, light clear. You can pronounce this over and over and over again, inside your head, outside, however you feel like it, and you can do this as many times however you wish in order to invoke the power and the presence of Fafnir. Next, we have a couple of quick correspondences. Again, more will be available in the post down below. For colors, we have auburn, carmine, crimson, gold, orange, red, rose gold, scarlet. For crystals, we have amber, bloodstone, carnelian, citrine, fire agate, fire opal, garnet, red jasper, rhodochrosite, ruby, and sunstone. For herbs, we have basil, cannabis, cedar, cinnamon, chili, dragon's blood, holly, pepper, rose, rosemary, snapdragon, and sunflower. The season is summer, and the direction is south or east, depending on what you want to use for your practice. Some offerings are bones, cannabis, fire, gold, incense, jewels, spices, and raw meat. Yummy. Let's give some dragons some raw meat, because wouldn't they appreciate that? They would appreciate that. If you don't eat meat, maybe not for you, but if you do, it's a great way to give them an offering, especially if you caught the prey or the meat yourself to give them. When working with Fafnir, it can be a little tricky finding a natural fire source, since going directly to a volcano is probably way too dangerous for you. Please don't do that. Don't go to a volcano. You'll probably die. That is honestly going to be the best place to contact Fafnir, is at a volcano. But because it's so dangerous for us, one of the best ways to do so is to go outside during the highest point in the sun and to meditate within the heat of the sun, and that's going to help us connect with Fafnir. For those of you guys who actually may have safe access to a volcano, you can meditate near there and maybe try and meet Fafnir that way. Good luck. Do not try it at home. I am not encouraging that. I'm just saying, if you are a professional in that situation and you want to connect with this guardian in a situation like that, and you're lucky enough to be able to go to a volcano in the safeness of the things, then I recommend doing that. If you want to learn how to honor and summon Fafnir, as well as learn some myths, legends, and lore about Fafnir, honestly, Fafnir has the most mythology, legends, and lore behind him rather than like all the other dragon guardians, so pretty good ones, as well as some resources on Fafnir that I did not really mention in this video will be linked in the post for you down below. Lastly, we have Saris, and Saris is the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Air, and it is spelled S-A-I-R-Y-S and is pronounced S-A-Y-R-I-S-S, so like Saris, you know what I'm saying? Not Sarah Weiss, because that's kind of how it's like spelled. We have a prayer to Saris. Saris, guardian of air, please soar through the sky. Show me knowledge, clarity, and insight. Throughout this world, may we fly high. And quick correspondences are colors. We have baby blue, eggshell, gray, lavender, mint, pale yellow, silver, and white. Crystals, we have blue lace, agate, citrine, clear quartz, lemuria, rainbow aura quartz, smoky quartz, and topaz. For herbs, we have anise, aspen, cannabis, cotton, dandelion, frankincense, hazel, ivy, lavender, lemongrass, mistletoe, moss, and yarrow. The season is winter, and the direction is north or east, depending on who you're working with, what you wish to do. Common offerings are bells, sound, cannabis, fabric, feathers, incense, music, wind chimes, any sort of thing like that. Chanting is also a good offering too. When working with Saris, you want to go out into a place where you can look at the sky clearly as well as feel a nice breeze. And while you're outside, preferably in a naturey area, at the top of a tree perhaps, or as high as you can get, this is going to be the best way to contact Saris. If you want to learn more about honoring or summoning Saris, as well as some myths, legend, and lore about Saris, and some resources, that'll be linked down below for you. Now, if you wish to contact these Elemental Dragon Guardians, we have an Elemental Guardian ritual for you. Again, all of the detailed step-by-step instructions will be in the post link down below for you, But this is a beginner level ritual to call upon the 4 Elemental Dragon Guardians. Use this ritual to honor, connect, and develop your personal relationship with the Guardians. This is a way to get in contact with them. Some of you may have asked me like, oh, is there a way to do it? You gotta do it individually. If you just want to work with them, I recommend using this ritual that I've written for you so you can contact them all at the same time to kind of initiate yourself into working with them. Step number 1 is ritual prep. This is where you're gonna get your space together, all of your items, what day, what time, what space are you doing it in. Next, you're gonna cleanse your space. What form of cleansing are you gonna use? Are you gonna use incense? Are you gonna use mist? Are you gonna use bells or sound? What are you gonna use to cleanse your space? Step 3 is grounding. You can do this with whatever method you want. This could be standing like I showed in my How to Cast Your Circle video. This can also be meditating on the ground. However this works best for you, it's really essential to ground before you cast your circle, which is step number 4. If you have not seen my video on how to cast and close your own circle, please check that video out before trying this ritual, as that'll tell you everything you need to know about casting your own circle before you do it for the first time if you've never done so. If you have done so, do it however you want, however you're most comfortable, and with whatever materials you have. Step number 5 is call the Elemental Dragon Guardians. You're going to need a candle for each of them to call upon them, say the prayer that is included in the post and that I mentioned in this video, and then light the candle while saying the prayer, and that is to invoke them and call upon them within your space. Number 6 is elemental connection. So once all the Elemental Dragon Guardians are present, you're going to sit in this space and thank them for being there with you. Take a moment to acknowledge each Elemental Dragon Guardian, their energies, what are they really bringing to your space, as well as what energy do they embody, what kind of feeling do they invoke within your ritual space, and take the time to connect with them individually at this time. Step 7 is presenting them offerings. I included offerings within this video as well as the post link down below, and if you bring something for each individual Dragon Guardian, now is the time to present those offerings to them, as again a way to show gratitude for them being there with you, a way to honor their existence, and a way to give thanks, and as a way to balance the relationship, because if they're giving you magic, if they're giving you energy, if they're showing up to your ritual, you don't want it to be one-sided. You want it to be an equal exchange of energy, so you want to give them offerings. It's very important. Step number 8 is a magical exercise. This is entirely optional. This is where you would insert any spell work that you do. Maybe you're creating a talisman, maybe it's a necklace to dedicate yourself to working with them. Maybe it's something that you make to honor each of them. Maybe you're making a Draconic Book of Shadows. Maybe you're doing any of those things. So this is the time to perform those magical exercises, and that is what's going to be the best for you during this time. However, it is optional, so you can skip this step entirely if you choose to do so. Step number 9 is the cakes and ale ceremony, and this is a time for you to provide them with drink and food. Remember, they're not going to physically eat it, they're going to energetically consume it, so it's not going to physically disappear before you. As cool as that would be, that's not how it works. This is an important step to commune with your guardians, to develop a friendship, a personal connection. This is a very Wiccan practice, is to have a cakes and ale ceremony. You don't have to, but I do recommend incorporating it at least the first time you try it, to really have that sit down at table type feel with them, where you eat with them, talk with them, all of that, and get to know them better while you exchange that mutual may you never hunger, may you never thirst within your ritual space. Step 10 is celebration. This is your time to get wild within the circle, to dance, to sing, to play. This is your time to celebrate having them with you and to build a more friend connection with them and to make some memories with the guardians as well. After you have done all of that and raised all your magical energy, step number 11 is to meditate and kind of center yourself within yourself, to enjoy the moment and atmosphere that you have created, and to enjoy the last little moments that you have with your guardians before it's time to close your circle. Now, this is really important before closing your circle, because within your circle, again, you've raised so much energy, you were wild, you did all these things. It's really important to bring yourself back down to reality, as much as that sounds kind of lame and boring, but it's really essential for your health, your well-being, and for the smooth running of the ritual. Step number 12 is to dismiss your guardians. Again, you will go to each of their candles and you will say, "Go if you must, stay if you will, thank you and farewell." Naeli and Fafnir, Saris, Grail, whoever you are doing it in the order that you choose to do it. There is a specific order in the post, but you can do whatever you're most comfortable with. And instead of blowing out your candles, you're going to snuff your candles. If you do not have a candle snuffer, you can use a glass like candle container and do it that way. You can also use something that's fire safe over the candle. Pretty much anything you can do, but I definitely recommend snuffing the candles out, not blowing them out, because blowing them out is disrespectful towards the guardians and towards the spirits. So just snuff that bitch. You're cool. Step number 13 is to close the circle. You're going to close the circle in the opposite way that you casted it, or however you feel most comfortable. Again, if you have not seen my how to cast and close a circle video, that'll also be linked down below and at the end of this video for you to understand, get to know, and how to really do that process. And also, if you've done it before, do whatever method works best for you. And lastly, we have step number 14, which is grounding and reflecting. After the circle is closed, you're going to ground the same way that you grounded before you even started your ritual. This is to return any extra energy to the earth, because you do not need that. It'll, cause you nausea, headaches, fatigue, all the things if you keep it inside of your being. So you want to ground it, return it to the earth. It's really important. And then when you're done, you're going to reflect by writing down your experience so you can have that for later reference, to look back on for information, to see if it worked for you, and to document your progress moving forward. Magical things you can do with your guardians are: with Grail, you can plant anything, especially trees, with the intention of healing Mother Earth. You can care and clean the land, wildlife in your local area. Leave offerings for the spirits of the land, plants, and trees in Grail's honor. You can also perform an earth offering with Grail at your local nature tree, whatever place of nature that feels most comfortable to you. It can even be a plant if you don't got much. For Naeli, you can clean local water sources to minimize pollution levels. You can stop buying plastic bottled water to reduce your impact on the environment. You can leave offerings for the spirits of water, river, lakes, and oceans in Naelian's honor. You can perform an offering to the water spirits with Naelian at your local water source, or with water of your choice. For Fafnir, you can focus on cultivating your inner fire in the name of Fafnir. Buy candles, fire starters, and flammables that are not negatively affecting the environment or atmosphere. So for example, don't use like fireworks. It's not really good for the environment. You can also leave offerings for the spirits of fire during the sun's highest part of the day. Perform an offering for the spirits of fire during the fire festivals on the wheel of the year. For Saris, you can not purchase anything or use anything that would pollute the air quality, like aerosol cans. Meditate in the breeze to gain insight, wisdom, and knowledge. Burn incense and aromatic vapors for offerings to the air spirits, and perform an offering on a windy or stormy day to call upon the spirit of air in Saris's honor. So those are some things that you can do with the Elemental Dragon Guardians that are magical in nature. Some crafting things that you can do with them include, for Grail, making an earth jar, treasure offering box, or a DIY stick pentacle. For Naelian, that is a water jar, shell runes, DIY scrying bowl. For Fafnir, it's a fire jar, fire offering dish, or a DIY candle. For Saris, it's a cloud jar, feather fan, or a DIY incense cones. So you can make all of these things, like I said, in the post within the Hatchling clan. Links to tutorials on how to make all of these things will be included, as well as some more things that you can do. There are other things that you can do that aren't necessarily included, or may not really be able to find on the internet, that you can just do yourself. These are just some examples for you to choose from if it's your first time working with them. If you want to learn some interesting facts about each of the Dragon Guardians, please go check out the post down below. But that's about all I have for you guys for today. Before we get going, I'm going to answer a few questions that you guys asked me on Instagram for your Q&A, and I'm just going to answer maybe 5 questions from you guys. And please follow me on Instagram if you have not already, so you can be part of the next Q&A. Lavender Sky asked, which ones are male and female? I can't find any info on this. So Elemental Dragon Guardians and any Dragon Guardians that you work with in general do not have a gender. Yes, I said it, they are genderless. They aren't really male or female, and they'll present themselves to you as more masculine energy or more feminine energy, depending on how you perceive them, how you work with them. For example, Naelian, I have encountered Naelian a handful of times, both being more feminine energy and being more masculine energy, so it's really hard to tell and give them a definite gender. So for example, earth and water are more feminine elements, where air and fire are more masculine elements. So that could be a way to work with them, but again, they don't have gender. They are just entities that are genderless that emit more masculine or more feminine energy depending on what you're most comfortable with. Wolfskater99 asked, what's the difference when dealing with elemental dragons than the normal elements? When you're dealing with the elemental dragons, you are dealing with the spirit, the heart, and the soul of the element rather than just the element itself. The difference that I mean with that is like, say you were all these vines and leaves that are in my background. Say you were working with the element of earth, you would work with the vines that are around you, or you would work with the plants or the trees or something like that. But when you're working with the Elemental Dragon Guardian Grail for earth, you are working with the spirit, the essence, the core like energy of earth. It's so much more than just a tree. It's so much more than just the vines. It's the essence that keeps them alive. It's the essence that flows through the element itself, and it's all of the characteristics of the element wrapped up into one conscious being. You're not really gonna get much of like a friendship interaction with the spirit of a plant. Yes, it's possible, and most definitely has been done before, but when you work with Grail, it's a much more powerful, prominent, primordial energy. So that's just an example, and it's the same way when it works with the other Elemental Dragon Guardians versus their elements. Callie Stella asks, is there any reason for Chaos Element don't have a specific Dragon Guardian? Kind of confusing, but I think what you mean is there a reason why the Chaos Dragons don't have an Elemental Guardian like Grail, Naeli, and Fafnir, and Saris? Honestly, I would not be surprised if they do. I just don't think that they're very easy to contact, therefore pretty much no one knows about them. I haven't really tried to work with a Chaos Dragon that is like the Elemental Guardian of them. I definitely would not like dismiss the idea of them existing. I do think it's possible, but I think it's really important to consider that maybe we just don't know them, and if they exist, maybe you just need to reach out to them and really be dedicated about it. I don't really know. I've never worked with them, like I said, and it's not in any books that I've read, so it's kind of something that you got to figure out on your own, and that's kind of the way the Draconic path is. And when you're just working with dragons, no matter what your spiritual, religious, or beliefs are, anything like that, you can work with dragons. I haven't seen any of that anywhere. Hey, Grain Clouds asked, should you connect with them each individually and form one-on-one relationships before working with all four? I think that is a matter of personal preference. I started working with them all together before I really started developing a relationship with them together individually, because I wanted to make myself known to them first and more so dedicate myself to working with them collectively rather than one-on-one. Like now I'm more so working with them one-on-one, like asking like specific guardians questions rather than like, oh hey, like all you guys like hit me up, like doing rituals with them individually. And this, like I said, is a very beginner introductory, like ultimate guide to working with all of them, but in the future I will be coming out with videos and guides working with each Dragon Guardian specifically, so that'll be more geared towards if you want to just maybe work with one of them, or if you want to like work with them individually before working with them together. But it's honestly just a matter of personal preference and what feels best for you. I started working with them all together, but you don't have to. It's, again, up to you. Julie's Palace of Love says, do they work with anyone? No, they don't. They pretty much won't work with you unless you're dedicated actively, you believe in them, and you really mean business when you want to work with them. You gotta give them offerings, you gotta call upon them, you gotta summon them with their consent, you gotta honor them, you gotta invite them to your rituals, you got to reach out to them, you got to work your ass off to meet them, because you might not meet them for years. Like I didn't meet Naeli until like 5 years after I started practicing. Like craziness, right? Like I first met Saris, then I met Naeli, then I met Grail, then I met Fafnir, and it's like all of these Dragon Guardians are not going to work with you unless you, in your heart of hearts, know that you're dedicated, that you are willing, that you want to learn, that you want to pursue this. It's not a path for everybody. It's very grueling sometimes, and even me, like sometimes I fall off the bandwagon and I don't practice for a while, and when I do that, it's even harder for me to contact them, because it's just like they really honor that connection. They honor the effort. They want to work with people who have a strong willpower, unwavering sense of courage, knows how to be honest with themselves, and are just full of determination, perseverance, and honesty. They like a genuine person, so they're not gonna work with anyone. But it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you believe in, it doesn't matter what you're doing with your life, you can work with them, asterisk, if you're dedicated and like make an actual effort. Otherwise they won't work with you. I want to say there was one other question that I saw that was like, oh hey, is there an Elemental Dragon Guardian for Spirit? I would say absolutely. Like I said, same thing with Elemental Dragon Guardians of like Chaos, Light, and Darkness. Like I said, working with purple dragons is really, really rare. I've said this in previous videos, but for example, when it comes to the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Spirit, who I don't know the name for, I never have met, I don't know if they even exist. I'm sure they do though. Like it would be kind of silly to think that they don't. They just like aren't present and it's hard to work with them probably. And they probably like won't ever show your face. Like you think working with the Elemental Dragon Guardians is hard enough? Yeah, well like the Elemental Dragon Guardian of Spirit, Chaos, Light, and Darkness is probably like another next step to the next level. So those are the questions I have for you guys. Again, if I did not answer your question in this video, please leave them in the comment section down below or on the post linked in the Hatchling clan, UNICOVEN, Girl Gang, all the other aminos I'm in. I will answer you as quickly as I can. With that being said, we are done with this video. I know it was a pretty lengthy video, pretty intense. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to go check out the post link down below with an amino if you want to learn more about these guardians, if you need more step-by-step instruction, as well as if you want to incorporate any of this information in your Book of Shadows. It's all there for you, easy to read and write down for you for your notes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had so much fun making this video. I love making the dragon videos. They are like my soul fam bam. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little dragon friend here with me today. This is like my statue representation for Naeli, and I felt it was appropriate to have him here with us. Them. There is no gender. For those of you guys who are like, oh my god, you need to be a male or a female. Alright, it can't be either or. Well, guess what? I have news for you. The Dragon Guardians ain't a fan of gender either, okay? So you can just get over it, alright? They're gender fluid too. Okay, cool. Did you know that the Elemental Dragon Guardians are gender fluid? Well, I bet you didn't. Now you do. Okay. Sending you endless love and light for today. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Like the video if you want to see more like it in the future, and subscribe because I post new videos every week. Woohoo! But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky! Little hatchlings. But until next time, blessed be and bye. Mwah. Mwah, darling. Draconic blessings, my beans. Okay. Mwah. Okay.